what I found with a lot of construction companies is that they're coming home at night, they're focusing on the skill all day, they have 10, 12-hour days, and then they're not focusing on the business part of it. And they're missing, this is where like the Titanic came in and they hit an iceberg. And they're not focusing on the business piece of it, which I understand because you're tired at the end of the day. And there's a lot of things within that we could do to fix that. Hence why I moved from marketing to then the franchising model. And what I realized is that, okay, this is a gap that we can fix. And if we fix it and we're able to put money back into your business, give you back into your time, you can do all the other stuff.
So it's kind of like an outsourcing model, is it, Erica, in terms of, if I'm a business owner, say I have 25, 50 people working for me, and I'm not good at the sort of the administration, I'm not good at the finance, I'm not great at the marketing, and I'm just not good at paperwork. Is that what we're looking at here? Is that what the service offers, or, how fast, or what is the package?
That's exactly how it works. So we're like that additional team member. We're there, but we're like a ghost in a sense. So we come in and we say, hey, listen, we're going to look at some of your expenses. So we'll look at your waste management companies, also your vendors, your merchant services. That's a big one also in construction, believe it or not. Your telecom, your fuel, compressed gases. And we come in and we say, we're not going to be an employee, but we're going to be like a contractor that works for you 2 to 3 hours out of this entire year. And it takes 4 to 6 weeks to come back with our numbers, but we come up with what's called like a value report, and we show you where you're getting dinged on those services or where people are overcharging you. And especially in waste management and merchant services, there's quite a bit of savings there.
Wow. So merchant services, you're talking about on the visa bills, or what are you talking about when you say merchant? Are you talking about the builders merchants as well?
I don't work with builder merchants per se, but I do work with so merchant services as in like your POS system and the credit cards. So where there's a lot of savings there is, number one, the interchange fees. And also number two, there's a big global fee. So you and I are in 2 different parts of the world. But if I'm doing business in London and I live in London, why am I paying a global fee? I'm not an e-commerce store, right? Where you can buy things and get things shipped abroad. So there's a way to actually get rid of that fee, but there's a negotiation involved to be able to do that. And it's not as simple as ABC. The interchange fees are also very interesting because where a lot of credit cards make money and where a lot of people are getting their points from is actually from merchants because they have to pay to use the machine. So what we try to do is as it goes up, encourage them to say, hey, you know what, let's, instead of maybe making it 4%, let's go down to 3% or offer a cash discount. Even though I'm in the business to say, hey, we're going to help you reduce your merchant fees, I try to encourage people as much as possible, go cash. Yeah, I mean, you have to, of course, you got to pay taxes on it. But let's say, for example, you've got a black Amex and let's say you're the contractor and I say, hey, you know what, Gavin, I'd like to split up these payments and let's say it's $100,000 job. So I give you my black Amex and I pay in installments. Even though I had to pay a fee to be able to use that black Amex, for me to use that on your machine, or if you get the chip that's at the top of your phone, you have to pay for my points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So when you're talking 100,000 plus and, you're looking at 4%, that's a pretty big number.
Yeah. So even like, I'm not sure how it is in London, but here I'll go to a restaurant and I'm thinking to myself, or even like McDonald's, right? Or McCafe. And every time I go and I get a coffee, it'll say, do you want to leave a tip? So here's the other piece of it too. They're trying, because of inflation, they're saying to customers, do you want to leave a tip? So if you leave a tip, they're trying to accommodate for the high merchant fees now, but that actual tip is not going to the employees. It's going to pay for the machine.
Stop. Oh my God. I hope we're not going to get sued now by McDonald's over over the tips. Disclaimer: This is not Gavin Coyle advice, but I understand totally. There's charges on the credit card, but like, it's like, I know it's only that you say it now. I'm sure there's plenty of people listening to this going, "Yeah, I just pay the credit card bill, or I pay the bill through the credit card." But we don't actually try and look and challenge the credit card companies to give us back value, because we think we're locked into this some sort of contractual obligation that we have to just pay it, and that's just the way it is. So do the banks stand up and listen? These credit card merchants, how approachable are they in this regard? And do you make that contact?
So the banks are in on it, because how it works is you have the end user. So let's say you're the end user as a customer. Your credit card is linked to a bank. And then the merchant has the POS system, and then they have their own bank. So it goes through 4 or 5 intermediaries before actually something happens. So the banks are in on it, because they're also making money.